that we are hypothesizing can a great deal of precipitation over a relatively short period. So the flooding hazard is that the flood control system throughout California in certain areas is unable to keep that precipitation within channels within the flood control system, and that it overflows that flood control system. In Los Angeles County, we are hypothesizing that it is realistic that flooding reaches the extent of the 500-year floodplain according to the Federal Emergency Management Agency's digital flood insurance rate maps. That is, we're hypothesizing for the Art Storm filling the 500-year floodplain. Many buildings built after the 1950s have gypsum wallboard partition that sheathes the insides of the wall. That's the stuff that when you knock on the wall, the inside of your home, that's what you hear, that gypsum wallboard partition. And when it's wetted, the water damages the partition. And typically that can require cutting out the partition and replacing it, putting in new gypsum wallboard, and then repainting the flooded area. Furthermore, carpets are damaged. Wetted contents like your furnishings, your couch, your bed, etc. All that stuff has a cost to replace it. Furthermore, that's when the water simply gently rises. For structures that are close to fast-moving streams, the water exerts a physical pressure because of its quantity against the side of the building. And if the building is not secured to its foundation, it can actually be pushed off of its foundation.
Hi, I'm Captain Garcia with the Long Beach Fire Department, and we have certain things that we do with flooding. Mainly, the major role is conservation of property, life safety, and environment. So usually on a flooding, if we know ahead of time if there's going to be flooding, they'll send out certain people to use as at fire stations for sandbags and sand. And then they'll let the public know about that. And other than that, it's just the normal calls of service, such as maybe somebody's in their car, got stuck because of the major flooding. They can go and rescue them. And the Swiftwater team's also part of the fire department. When they get notification there's going to be a lot of rain, they'll get strategically staged at certain stations, and then they're in charge of the certain rivers, the main rivers, the LA River, and then the San Gabriel River, where they'll be staged.
We have to work harder and smarter about our emergency procedure in terms of evacuation and what we need to do. And to realize that because we have so many trees on campus and because there's a runoff, that we get a lot of debris to clog up our drains. We fall under two plans. Since we're on the campus of Cal State Dominguez, we fall under their plan. And since we are Long Beach Unified School District, we fall under their plan as well. So throughout the school year, I have to meet with both. I have to go to the required Long Beach Unified meetings, and I also have to go to the university meetings. And the university meetings, fairly new. You know, they're starting to do a more thorough job of incorporating CAMs into their procedure. You remember the incident with the guy with the rifle on campus, and they thought, you know, there was a huge lockdown of the campus and everything. So they realized at that point that they needed to communicate with CAMs, because CAMs was kind of a, oh, by the way, we need to call CAMs kind of thing. So it was kind of a somebody thought about CAMS and it wasn't really incorporated in their emergency procedure process. So we're doing better. I've been meeting with them this school year alone. I think I've met with them 4 times. I met with them once during the summer and 3 times during the school year.